Only the righteous will keep the Sabbath in the last days. When the dust settles and the final test comes, only the righteous will stand. Not the most popular, not the most religious, but the obedient. The Bible tells us that in the last days, the greatest deception will not come from atheists or the world, but from within Christianity itself. The final battle will not be over whether you worship, but how and when you worship and whom you obey. And at the center of this controversy is a commandment that has been forgotten, trampled, and replaced: the seventh-day Sabbath. From the beginning of creation, God established the Sabbath. Genesis 2:2-3 says, "And on the seventh day God ended his work, and he rested. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it." He didn't bless the first day. He didn't make all days alike. He chose the seventh day, Saturday, and set it apart. Then in Exodus 20:8-11, the fourth commandment says, "Remember the Sabbath day, to keep it holy. The seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God." God wrote that commandment with his own finger in stone. He didn't say, "Pick your favorite day." He said, "Remember." Jesus kept the Sabbath. Luke 4:16. He said, "The Sabbath was made for man, for all mankind." Mark 2:27. He never abolished it. Instead, he said in Matthew 5:17, "Think not that I am come to destroy the law." The apostles kept the Sabbath after the resurrection. Paul worshipped on the Sabbath regularly. Acts 17:2, Acts 18:4. The early church honored it long after Christ ascended. But something changed, not in heaven, but on earth. In 321 AD, Emperor Constantine passed the first civil Sunday law. On the venerable day of the sun, let all people rest. This law didn't honor Christ, it honored the sun god. Then the Roman Catholic Church declared, "Sunday is our mark of authority. The Church is above the Bible, and this transference of Sabbath observance is proof of that fact." Catholic Record, September 1, 1923. That is the root of Sunday worship: man's authority, not God's. Now, fast forward to the last days. Revelation 14:9-10 warns that those who worship the beast and receive his mark will face the full wrath of God. And Revelation 14:12 tells us who will be saved. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. Only those who keep God's commandments, including the Sabbath, will stand in the end. Now the challenge: disprove that God made the seventh day holy at creation. Disprove that Jesus and his apostles kept the Sabbath. Disprove that Sunday worship came from Rome, not the Bible. Disprove that end-time prophecy centers on commandment-keeping. Disprove that only the righteous will honor the Sabbath in the last days. You can't. Isaiah 66:22-23 tells us that in the new heavens and new earth, from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Lord. The righteous keep the Sabbath now and forever. The world may reject it, churches may ignore it, but the righteous will obey it. What side will you choose?